In this video, we're going to learn how to create and style buttons using Bootstrap. First, to create buttons, there are several ways. We can create a button using a link. Sometimes we want links to act as buttons, for example, to trigger in-page functionality. So let's create an example. So let's create a link. Okay, so let's say that the link takes us to top of the page. So we need to give the link a class of button, okay, and button link. So now this link is acting as a button, okay. So you can add an href using the ID of the element we're going to. Okay, so this is the way to make a link act as a button. All right. Another way is by using straight away the button tag, as we have done earlier. Okay, let's have some text there. And to style the button, there are a few classes we can use. The first one, as we have done in the previous video, we can use the button class. Also, to style the button, there are a few classes that come with pre-built styling. So for example, we can use button defaults. Okay, another one is button primary. Okay, we can change the size of the button using button small or button large. Let's go for button large. Okay. Alright, and let's have a type for our button, for example, submit. Fine. We can also use an input tag of type button. So let's add some text, or we give it a value. So the value is going to show in the inputs. So for example, we can have a cancel value for the button. Okay, and let's style it using some classes. So we can still use the button class. We can use the pre-built classes for styling, like button defaults, primary, info, for example. Okay, we can change the size of the button using button large or small or XS. Okay, and okay, so you can see the hover state. Okay, if we want the button to be active all the time, okay, we can add the class active. So you can see that's the background color now is darker. Okay, so let's create one other button using the inputs. Just change these classes. So let's go for button XS, and let's go for button success for the styling. Let's have a value of submit. Okay, and we can make the button disabled using the class disabled. So now the button is disabled. We cannot click on the button. Okay. Okay, now let's see how to create button groups. Okay. So to create a button group, we're gonna need a few buttons placed in a div, and we're gonna give that div a special class. Is gonna be button group. Okay, so let's create a div, and let's have a few buttons in the div. So the best way to create buttons is by using the button tag for several reasons, mainly for cross-browser compatibility. Okay, so let's create a button using the button tag. Okay, let's have this one. Okay, let's place some text there. Okay, left, and let's give it a type button, and let's give it a class of button and button default. Okay, so let's duplicate this and create another middle button and right button. Okay, so to create our button group, we will give the wrapping div a class button group. Okay, and we can see how this is styled now. All right, let's add another line break. Okay, and we give it also a role of group. Okay, so that's how we create a button group. So we can style each button individually. Okay, we can resize the buttons by adding a class to the wrapping div. So for example, if you want to make all the buttons large, so you can just use the button group large class. Okay, all right, now let's move to something else. Okay, let's have line break. Now let's create a button toolbar. So the toolbar is going to consist of a few groups of buttons. Okay, so let's create a toolbar with 3 groups of buttons. So we're going to place groups of buttons like this one inside another div. Okay, so let's create a div and give it a class of button toolbar. Okay, and the role is going to be toolbar, and let's place a few button groups inside this div. Okay, that's the first one. Let's have another one and another one. Okay, so you can see how the toolbar is styled. We can see each group separately. Okay, okay. Finally, let's see how to make a certain button group take the whole width of the viewport. So if you want to style this button group so that the width of the group is 100%, and also we can make the buttons take the same width. So there is a way to do that by using the okay, so first of all, let's go to this button. Okay, button group. So we're going to add a class button group justified. Okay, and let's take out this class for now. button group large. Okay, now we need to place each button inside a div. Okay, so first button, we need to go inside a div. Okay, the same thing for the second one. And the same thing for the third one. Okay. Now each of these divs is gonna take a class. Okay. Button group. And now you can see how the button group now is styled so that it takes the whole width of the viewport. Okay, and also all the buttons are taking the same width. Okay. Finally, let's see how to make a certain button group look or appear in a vertical way rather than in a horizontal way. Okay. Okay, so to do that, we're gonna use a new class. It's button group vertical. So let's apply that to this button group, for example. Okay, or let's go for the. Okay, let's go for that one. Okay, so if we add this class, button group vertical. Okay, so you can see how the button group appears now in a vertical way.